In 1974, two, at the time, unidentified female skeletal remains were found in an area known as Dole Valley. And one of the women was ID'd right away as Carol Valenzuela, and the other has remained unidentified until last week. Just last week, we received confirmatory DNA analysis that she is, in fact, Martha Marie Morrison, who was last seen in the fall of 1974. Martha was a 17-year-old girl who was living in the Portland area with her then boyfriend. In 2010, Reba Morrison and Michael Morrison, the sister and brother of Martha Morrison, decided that they never found out whatever happened to their sister. So they decided to check on the missing persons report that their father had filed, or that they believed had been filed back in the 70s. And what they discovered was no one had any record of her as a missing person. Somebody had written CCC for Clark County Coroner and the case number 1974-0314 on the remains, and that was Carol's case number. One tiny mistake that took decades to unravel. In January of 2013, Reba, and I'm going to assume Michael, but I don't have those records, submitted family reference samples. And that is where they will do a buccal swab. So the buccal swabs for the family reference samples were sent to University of North Texas, and they have all the information that's reported by Bodie for the DNA analysis. So I get a contact by Carissa Hartman, and she says, we have a possible identification. We think it's a possibility that Martha Morrison is your unidentified from 1974. Now, this is the first lead that we have had. This is now April of 2013. This is the first lead that we have had on this case ever, since 1974 for identifying this girl. Dad is deceased, but what if we could get his DNA? June 11th, 2015, they exhumed the body of Albert Ray Morrison, who had died in 1976. Last week, I got a phone call from Bodie saying, we expect to give you an answer here in a couple days. It is 59.7 million times more likely to be Martha Morrison than any other unrelated Caucasian person with a probability of relatedness of 99.999998%. Martha went missing about this time, probably August of 1974. And so was the best moment was to be able to call Reba and say, it's for sure. And Reba said, I knew it was her, but I knew you weren't going to give up. She deserved a name. This girl has had a very unpleasant end, and this remains have been sent all over the country and been evaluated, and she remained unnamed for over 40 years. We don't give up.